Hello and welcome to our DoShitters Sharing Shit series, where we are here to discuss the creative process with fellow people who do shit. As you know, in our Oracle, your shit is the projects that you're up to. So here we have Alex Antolino with us. Alex, can you explain to us a little bit about the shit that you do?
What up, what up, what up? Well, I'm Alex Antolino, super excited to be here with you all. And thanks for having me. This is amazing. I have the deck, I love it, and use it super regularly. So, super pumped to be just exploring this shit with you guys and girls. So, what I do basically, long story short, is my background is on film. I'm a creative director, but I'm transitioning to be just a creator. And right now, my whole world and life is changing because I'm kind of like stepping a little bit away from what I've been doing the last 10 years in terms of like advertisement, branding, and creative director, and starting like a crazy journey of just becoming a YouTuber. Now, I don't know if this will last for like a year or 10 months or like indefinite. We don't know, but that's what I'm doing. Starting like a new brand new YouTube channel.
Very nice.
Nice
Very
to know.
nice. Yes. Well, as you
We're
know, we
very
are
excited
here
with
and
this new chapter.
Thank you.
yes, and want to know more about this shit that you are doing. We always like to start talking a little bit about the process, Matt, right? We have 10 cards there
Mhm.
that
To have
have to do with the
cards
process.
that in order to not knowing what are we gonna ask, I'm gonna shuffle them. So there's no trick here. I don't know any of them. I mean, I don't know the questions below. So
Exactly. And these are basically 10 cards that we
Oh my god, I feel like I'm
pre-selected.
getting
And
nervous now. Oh my god, this is exciting.
this is 10 cards that we pre-selected that have to do with your creative process. So out of the 10 cards, you're going to be
Mhm.
picking 3, and we're going to discuss a little bit, and you can, if you can share anything that a little bit that card sparks to talk about. So let's see, which card do you want to begin with? Which number?
Not the death card. I want to pick number 3.
Okay, let's see. Under the 3, let's see the card that is. Ooh, I like this one.
Excuses. Okay.
So how do you connect to this card, Antolino? Like, do you run into excuses during the process? We always talk that there are something things that
Hell
keep us
yeah.
from taking action. So how do you face this?
I love this card because this is actually something that I've been struggling a lot with my process personally of like starting this new journey. I think there's like concerns or things you need to keep in mind when you start something, especially something big or something that you really care about. But there are also like these random voices that are just only like the manifestation of your insecurities or your like fears and stuff like that, which are definitely not helpful. The first ones are helpful, these second ones are not helpful, right? And so for me, valid concerns are like, is this financially sustainable? Like, does it make sense? Do you actually want to do this? Like spending all
Yeah.
day, like all week, having to make a new video every week. Like, I think those are valid concerns and things that are very healthy to like ask yourself. Then there's like a bunch of other stuff that just like these like devil voices that you have in your head, and I think those are like the excuses that I was making for myself that I was able to like overcome. I think the biggest
Mm-hmm.
one was like my ego being like, oh my god, you have this big like thriving career and you worked in Barcelona, like you moved to the US and like you've been making so much money, like what are you gonna do now? Are you like a YouTuber? You're like 36, what are you doing now, starting a YouTube channel? Like that's not like, that's for young kids, whatever. Like I think I'm young, but like more young, you know what I mean?
You
And
are.
so
You
this
are.
is like probably I think this is like the biggest excuse that I had to overcome. It's like my ego being like, oh, you're not good enough, oh, this is your, or the opposite, oh, you're better than this, and this
Yeah.
type of bad shit.
Yeah. And it sucks when these kinds of
To overcome this. I'm sorry. how do you do this click of overcoming this and not get stuck in the ego and in the excuse?
I think it's just you just take action. Like sometimes what you want to do, like in my case, this is something that I've been like willing to do for like a long time, like maybe 2 years now. And I think taking action, like the moment you are doing stuff, you're like less thinking about stupid, like useless stuff and actually thinking about how you're actually gonna make the shit. So taking action, it's definitely like the way to overcome this, at least for me. But I have to say, I would have not taken action if it wasn't first for my partner that's been like talking me to it like for the last 2 years and insisting and like reaffirming my beliefs and my ideas and like supporting me. And then my friends, like I do like I'm like number 3 on the Enneagram. And if you know what like that is like these type of people that like number 3s, we need a lot of like affirmation, like affirmation words. It's not like insecurity that I feel, but I feel like my ideas are more reinforced where I share them with my friends that I respect and like admire. They give me feedback. And so for me, it's like hyper important to like get that support. And I've been super lucky that like my friends been like, yes, you gotta do this, yes, do it, like we'll support you, blah blah blah. So for me, it's like first of all, my friends and like inner circle like telling me go do it, go do it, go do it, and then me taking action. And then all of these like now it seems like, and actually it's funny because it seems so stupid when I think about it. It's like, oh my god, this is like the shit, like this is the best thing that I've ever done in my entire career. And it like it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. I just know it's so good that I'm like I wake up every morning like go do this and I'm excited.
Is that shit that you know that you want to see
I
exist.
adore your
and
answer.
yeah. Me too, man. I adore his answer.
No, because I adore because here in the card it's represented the excuses as flies, and then the answer is the pencil that is symbolized the action. So it's kind
I
of
love
your
that.
answer of the solution for these flies is to take this action.
Take the pencil
I love that. Didn't
and
realize.
take action. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to see what the door number 2 holds for talking about this process that you're leading us through? Which card do you want next?
Pick another number.
Okay, let's do number 9.
Okay. I adore that.
Oh
it's
my
like
god.
you don't know what it is underneath. The zone.
Ooh!
In the zone. I really love this
In the
one.
zone.
This moment where you are like in the zone, in your process, when you are forgetting about the external thing.
I think for me, the zone has to be when I set up my 90-minute timer and I like put my music on and I'm like on the flow, like I'm in the flow state where I'm like, whatever I gotta do, like maybe write a script or maybe like research, think of ideas. I think that's like my, let's say, introvert version of my flow. It's like me on like doing that, and I can spend like, it's funny because it takes me a minute to like get in that zone, and maybe I get distracted and like I do stuff, maybe I go get water, like I always have like excuses. But then I like when I finally start and like I do it, I can be like for 3-4 hours completely lose track of time and just like go for it. So that's my introverted version. Another extroverted version of that is probably when I'm like brainstorming with my team or like my friends, whatever, where we'll have a whiteboard, and then it's like, and again, it takes a bit to like start like flowing ideas, but the moment like you're there, you see us like, oh my god, this is gold, this is gold, this is gold, and then you keep going. There's nothing wrong, and everything is fine, like accepted. And like that's one of my favorite moments also of the creative process, where like you're like there just dumping ideas and there's no wrong ideas, and you end up being like, oh my god, we did so much, like let's just wrap it for the day and like come back the next day and you see all the ideas there. Like that has to be also like a very nice feeling of like being in the zone with others.
Yeah, and I like how there is those two sides of trying to, on one side, create like the conditions for you to be able to focus and get in your zone. Like, okay, I do this, I pick up this, but then I set the timer, the music, and I just dive into it. And that other more social and co-creative part of it. No, very nice. Do you
Yeah,
then? You sound like you are one of those lucky people who get into the zone quite quickly.
I am. I think so. Yeah. Um, I mean, we all have like bad days
Very
and
nice.
like that nothing works, and we have days that like yeah, it's just. But when I detect that I have one of these days, I'm like, I don't even try to work. Like I'm like, okay, we're gonna just waste time today. I would rather go do something else, unwind, watch Netflix, and then next day I'll just do double. Like I'll do extra time because I know I'll be like it'll be more effective.
Yeah.
But in general, like in a regular day, yes, I can get on the flow, but I just need to block time on my calendar. Like I don't know why, but like this happens. I like to. This is actually something that like I can share here because I think it's a very interesting idea. I haven't heard that many people talk about this. I think time is the most valuable asset for like humans and business, and I think like for me, time management is one of the most important things. And a lot of people use like boards like Trello or like Asana boards or like, you know, these type of Kanban boards where like you go from like doing to done and stuff like that. For me, what really works is just booking time on my calendar. So for example, if I need to write a script or if I need to like edit a video or even like jump on a call with someone, I'll just
Mhm.
block that time. Or even if it's like something that I have to do on my own, like go to a gym or like check
Yeah.
my admin stuff, I'll block 1 hour on my calendar, and that hour is for me. So it's almost, I use my calendar as like a budget for time. So on Monday, I budget my time of the week and I assign it to different things, and then I just go through it looking at my calendar, and it's the best thing.
I think that that is great advice because in the end, it gives you as well, like you're giving yourself permission during that length of time to be able to explore those sides, and knowing that however everything else works, you know that there is that time allocation that is very helpful. I definitely agree. That is a great tip for all do shitters listening. If you want to do something, schedule time for it. If you don't schedule time for it, it will
Yes,
never exist. That shit won't make it out of your mind.
that's what I think. Love that. Yeah,
Completely
that's
agree.
what I think.
Okay, so do you want to see the third card out of this process?
Let's go. Okay, let's go for let's create a nice little triangle right there, and let's go for number what's that? 7? Number 7.
Very nice.
Let's see. Curiosity.
Oh yes, my favorite.
This
Let's
moment
go.
where you are inside your comfort zone and you're looking outside your goal, your nebulosa, the thing that you want to go, and what is that gives you the curiosity to go out? What's your motor to go over there?
Um like I think curiosity for me is like the one thing that you need to give like it's a skill that you need to like use like every single day. Like to me, it's like it's the one thing that will lead to empathy. It's the one I think it's the beginning of everything. Like if you're curious about another human being, you're gonna try to understand them, and you're gonna try to like it's gonna be easier for you to empathize versus if you're judgmental. But also if you're judgmental, which I think is the opposite of curiosity, you're not gonna learn. The only thing to learn is like curiosity is this spark of like any like learning process. And like for me, like it's like water for the mind, you know what I mean? It's like the way in which you are gonna like go anywhere. And um I think your question was like how do you what moves you out to like start that journey. That's what I understood from your question.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me it's like the journey I can understand like learning or doing something. It's more like I think like curiosity is more a state of mind. It's like okay, I come to like I start my day or like I meet this person thinking I don't know anything about you or anything about this, and I just want to learn and discover more. And sometimes you will learn a bit more and you're like, okay, that's not for me now, or this person is not for me right now, or I'm like I see where this could lead and I just don't want to go there. But sometimes you'll be like, oh, actually that could be like a very nice place that I want to go, or like a nice relationship that I'd like to like explore a bit more, right? And so I think that's how I approach it. But if there's no curiosity, like it's very easy to like I feel like you die. Like you're staying your own thing, doing the same thing. Like you don't see outside, and a comfort zone quickly becomes the place where you're gonna end up dying. So like for me, that's not the point of life. The point of life is like explore as much as possible and learn as much as possible and try to do as many things as possible and do shit. So
And do shit. Yes, do shit.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
Yeah,
And I
I
think,
really
especially in
like.
the end, if you have that curiosity to learn and to go beyond, it can always lead you interesting places. Mar, what do you want to say?
I'm sorry. I wanted to say that I really love this idea that I've never thought about it, about curiosity leading you to empathy. It's really, really beautiful. I've never thought about this, and it's so true, actually. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alex, thank you so much for
Oh,
sharing these three little slides,
yeah.
three little parts of your process. Are you up
that
to
was fun.
doing then a reading of one of our
Mhm.
maps?
Let's
Are you
go.
feeling
Let's go.
like you want to open yourself up to more mystery of the cards?
I am just open upside down. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get dirty.
So I will shuffle the cards and I will
Very
put
nice.
them here. Okay.
Everything inside that deck. Meanwhile, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell Alex the options that he has. As you know, we have map cards in DoShit, and you're gonna
Yep.
be able to choose from one of these three. One of it is past, present, and future, which is more of a broad reading, maybe about the shit that you're up to right now, like where you come from, where you're going. The other option would be the pros and cons of, it's like this a SWOT analysis of the project that you're up to or the decision of doing something, like pros and cons, analyzing it. And then we have how to combat the shithole in case there was any shithole that needed combating. So, with these three options in mind, which map do you feel more inclined to ask about?
Well, of course, we're gonna go for the shithole because I think it's just like gonna make more drama and it's gonna be more interesting content.
Yes,
Let's go
we
for the
adore the
shithole!
drama.
Very nice.
Yes.
I mean, let's if you play, we play hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's play hard.
Let's go. So, what will be your question? It will be from a general shithole or a specific shithole project situation.
So if you can, I think if you can give a bit more context, so what is the shithole for me and also probably for like people watching? How should we think about the shithole?
Okay, so when we are asking how to combat the shithole, we are thinking about the shithole as that point of any creative process where you are going to be feeling doubts, you're going to be feeling maybe dead weights that are dragging you down, maybe your confidence is shaken. It explores, the shithole explores all those elements that bring us down. And we always talk about the shithole as something in any creative process that is inevitable, but that is temporary, and that it's something that you can just try to breathe through, figure out the stuff that leads you there, and just the way to get out. So, through this reading of how to combat the shithole, many times people ask themselves, like, okay, which shithole am I in? Am I in a shithole of funding? Am I in a creative shithole? Am I in a shithole with my partners? And through the how to combat the shithole map, we identify a little bit what these fears and drags are, as well as the way to get the fuck out of that shithole if you're ever in there.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Sweet. Let's do it.
So what is your shithole, Antolino?
So do you?
What is it? A general shithole that we're facing, or is there a specific shithole?
Right. So my project is a new brand, a new YouTube channel. We're gonna do. It's a game show YouTube channel, and it's about social games. Okay, and so my potential shithole could happen if these videos don't perform as we expect them to perform, and we don't get the views that we need to get, we don't get the traffic that we need to, the product, which is those videos, doesn't do as well as we expect, leading to potential or possible delays in terms of revenue, monetization, all those things, which we are all convinced that this is going to work, but we don't know when. So the shithole could be, this is not happening as we're progressing and making more videos, and we don't see those results. We could get in a place that could be, you know, risky financially and morally, for our morals. So that could be the potential shithole that I anticipate.
That potential gap in
As
between
I
all of
read
the
it right
effort
now-
of production and that revenue monetization model really, and even audience building making its
Yeah.
way, no?
Yeah.
As I'm reading it right now, it's like there is no shithole right now, but it's like the fear of what potential.
I mean, it's
shithole.
like literally we're just jumping off a cliff now. So now we feel like all the like, oh my God, like this is so fucking cool. I finally did it. Like we're flying, and we're, you know, at some, but you know, it's a fucking cliff, right? And there's gravity. So it might happen that we jump so far that we, you know, defy gravity and like we get into like orbit or something. That's what I'm like, fingers crossed. But if that doesn't happen, at some point we're gonna start like falling, and they're like, we're gonna hit the water. So that could be like a very deep shithole.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, if it's okay, then we'll just climb back and jump again.
Exactly.
But
Temporary.
But yeah, that could be temporary.
So I will ask you to choose one pile, like 1, 2, or 3. You need to choose one.
The first one.
The first one. So those
Okay,
are
so
your
let's
cards.
go then. We are gonna have the cards.
Oh, I'm so
So in this
nervous
map-
right now. Okay.
I am
Cards,
nervous.
please
Oh my God, let's
behave.
get closer.
Behave, cards. Let's
The
behave.
map card.
Yeah, be
In the
good,
middle.
little cards. Come on, be good. Like it's me. It's
Yeah.
like Uncle Antolino. Come on.
Let's see. This card will be your fear. This card will be the trap. This will be the hope and the way out. Okay. Oh,
Let's
behave.
start with the way out. Just kidding.
I'm sorry, but that's just not
No.
the start.
All right.
We're gonna start from
Okay,
the
okay.
beginning. We're gonna
No,
face our
because
fears, Antolino.
Yeah, in the map you have the numbers. You have to follow the numbers. I'm sorry, it's the map card.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
if you want, we can just end by the fear, but we're just more hopeful. We like to end on a high note, you
Yeah.
know, on getting the
All
fuck
right,
out.
okay. Okay, you got it.
Let's go for the downside and then we'll see the positive. But the downside, the fears here. The growth. Interesting. This is the fear that you were mentioning. Like right now, the growth of
Like-
this.
Literally, like to the T. This is why, like, seriously, like this deck is some sort of like creative witchcraft I can't understand. That's why it's so wonderful. This is just insane. I mean,
Yeah. You are
I
worried about
literally
the
just
growth
said that.
of this.
just said that.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess
Well,
the
we
deck
have to
works.
hope.
Okay, tech. It's confirmed. Yes, the growth is
Yes.
it's one of the fears, probably the main one. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Probably the
especially the
main
speed
one
of
because,
growth.
yeah,
Yeah,
the speed of
because
growth.
we don't like we know this is gonna work. Like we're all convinced. Like whether it's true or not, it's completely irrelevant. We're all convinced it's gonna work. Now, how fast are we gonna grow?
Mm.
Like, are we gonna like? It's. I think that it was like a good metaphor. Where like we jump off the cliff. Do we have enough momentum to like defy gravity and like getting over it? That would be the growth. Like, do we grow enough, like fast enough for us to
Yeah.
survive those initial like first steps?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's see then what's the potential trap, Mar, maybe. Since
Yeah.
we know
Gravity,
our fear.
Let's see the trap.
irrelevance.
The
Who's that?
research. Mm.
Okay.
I don't know how to read it, but sometimes Marta, you say something that is procrastinating, right? I mean, sometimes we get trapped in researching so much and just learning in order to have everything in order before doing something. And I love when Marta says procrastinating because it's so accurate, the name. And I don't know if you feel related to that, but apparently this is your trap. Something about the
Okay.
research.
Yes. There could be some of that. Yeah. I think honestly, to be honest, like we've been learning, and I specifically have been learning about this for like so long now, like 2 years. So I feel like I might be past that a little bit, but maybe that's the
Yeah.
reason why we haven't been doing this for like a whole year already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a trap as well of
Yeah.
seeing and researching everything that was around and trying to find. I guess that there is always that element of finding your market, finding what you want to do, finding what you think. But I think that in the end, and you haven't let that trap continue to grab you for any more time. And it feels like this year, you're in the year of taking action. So shall we see
Yeah.
where the hope lies then?
And
Correct.
also, I don't know if I'm speaking out loud here without thinking much, but I don't know if it can relate to the growth, this fear of growth, perhaps researching the growth that it should be needed and how it should be, and all.
Or like even like speaking, I think like talking to like so many people about it sometimes is really good for like your like the emotional aspect of it and like for the confidence. But on the other side, like a lot of people have different opinions, and if you listen to certain opinions too much, might be also like if you have an idea and just like believe in it, just do it. I think that's what we're doing, and we're like opening and sharing with like so many people. But at the end of the day, we like have to come back here in the studio and be like, this is all good. Some people might agree, some people might not agree, but we're just gonna move forward and do it and see what happened. Because the last thing you want, I think, is act on someone else's beliefs. Because then, like, you spend 1 year doing something, you're like, what the fuck did I do this last year? And you still haven't done whatever you thought was the right thing to do because so many people told you you had to do it this way. And at the end of the day, like if you're trying to do something creative, something innovative, you need people to tell you that that will not work. Because if people like is telling you, yes, that makes a lot of sense, yeah, do it. I
It's
feel
not
like
going to be helpful if they lie.
there's no, it's not it's not innovative. Also, it's not innovative. If everyone knows it's gonna work, where's the innovation? Someone's done it already. There's evidence, and everyone's convinced it's gonna work. But if you're doing something really innovative, you need to assume a lot of risk, and be like, yes, everyone thinks this might not work. Everyone thinks that I'm like putting like all this money in the trash can, and I accept that this might be an option. But I also think that there's a reality in which this is a massive success. And I think only the people who take that leap of faith, because at the end of the day, it's just faith. There's no evidence that this is gonna work. And I think that's where we are now. And maybe this could be the possible trap that research could lead into. That I think, luckily, I think we're kind of like overcome now. We're in the leads of it, and we're like about to record the first games this weekend. So we're like super pumped.
Very nice. Mar, I really want to go now into the lighter side of the shithole when
Yeah,
we find the hope and we get the fuck out. So, because the good thing is that it looks like we have our shitholes very, very, very known and navigated.
Yeah, we've got to
yeah.
share together.
Let's see the hope. I'm gonna look at it. Hmm. Interesting. The process has no
The process.
shortcuts.
No what? Shortcuts? No.
Yeah,
I
Shortcuts.
know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Hmm. And I think, and this is the hope. This is like knowing that, and perhaps fearing about the growth, but knowing that it might be what it might be, but it will be the process that it should be, and it's okay if
You
there's
know what? This makes a
any.
lot of sense to me because what we're trying to do, it's super complicated and super risky. It's not like your average YouTube channel where you get a camera and start recording your travels and stuff like that, where like if it doesn't work, you still can do your job. Like like you know what I mean? Like what we're doing requires a massive investment. And I think that's actually one of the things that has kept me going. I think the reason why not that many people are doing it is not because it doesn't work, but because the bar is so high, the like barrier of entry is so high. In order to do your first program, you need so much stuff and like such a like you need a bunch of cameras, light, like space,
A lot of
studio, people.
investment.
Like it's so complicated, yeah, that there's literally no shortcut. Like it's not like I can like pick up my phone and be like, hey guys, you know what I mean? Like I think that's one of the things that's kept me like going, being like, it's not everyone can do this financially, risk tolerance, like, and so we're doing it. So I don't know, I hope that I come back to this video um in 1 year and like ask you permission to post it on our channel as like, this is what we were talking 1 year ago, here where we are, versus, do you mind taking down this video because I'm like now working in a restaurant and like my life
No.
sucks and I cannot watch it.
I'm sure it won't be like this. No, and I think that this is the card that is the hope. As you were saying, it's like a process that might be really without shortcuts and not easy, but this is the hope that you're doing
I think
it.
that's the point. Like, I think that's the
Yeah.
point. I think that's the key differentiator is that this process has no shortcut and that the bar is so high, the entry is so high that like if you actually get there, there's not that many people
Yeah.
in that hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that maybe it's a nice
And
place.
I think as well, by the time that I've known you, I think that you are a very perseverant person that once that he knows the process that he wants to go through, like you know which milestones and which paths you're going to be building next that are going to be taking you there. And in the end, I think we all know that the secret to doing shit is just making sure that you do one milestone at a time and that you know your milestones and that you make it there, no? And not
Yeah,
being aware that there are just no shortcuts, you know? You just have to do the shit that you want to do.
that's it.
Right. Mar, do you want to take us
Let's
to the
see.
way out of the shithole
Way out.
with Antolino?
The solution. Oh, I don't know if I like this card or I hate it, but it's so true.
All
And
right, well, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. That's all.
No.
It's over.
It's nice. I mean, it's this card that is the eternal detail stretch, which is like it's
Okay.
easy to do the first huge thing and volume, but then the little details that you need to do in order to finish it are sometimes eternal, but they are needed also. And perhaps it's as
So
you
wait,
were
what's the
telling,
position of this card?
the way
The
out.
way out is in
And
the
I think,
details. The way
yeah,
out
I
is in
think
the
that
details.
I'm reading it in the long process of this project that you have been thinking about, but not doing the action and the research and being on building it in your mind, but not perhaps in the action. And now you are perhaps in the details and you're doing it. And this there is this symbol here again of the pencil, which is the action. So you're taking the action, and perhaps you are already in the last details of this long process of getting there, of doing it.
Yeah, something we've said with this project is like it's very much about details. Like, because of how specific it is, the more we care about the experience, the more we care about how people feel when they're either watching or participating on these games. That's like make it or break it. And so, and for when you're trying to like create an experience for something or for someone, like every detail counts, from how they feel when they are in the space to how you talk to them, like every detail. And I think there's a bunch of content on YouTube, and I think there's so much more than like people can create. But at the end of the day, something like that, where like we're doing like games and it's social games, like people really need to feel this is a cool thing. And I think the details on how we craft that experience and where we decide to focus our time, energy, and like attention, I think this will dictate how successful we are or not. So yeah, I like that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, completely. And I think that it's very funny that in the cards of both the trap and the way out, there is you have the magnifying glass, but in one of them, you're not really doing anything with it, and it's that trap of staying just in not the. And in the other one, you're using that magnifying glass of everything that you've been researching and everything to put it into action and to do the actual shit that you want to do. So it's very, I don't
That
know,
is so
it's fun
cool.
that you got the
That
magnifying
is so
glass.
cool. I love that. Yeah. Oh, that's a perfect way to end this reading. I love this.
Very nice. Well, this
Really
was
nice.
your shithole, which I think is a very hopeful shithole.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing it with us and with sharing a little bit how you face your shithole when you're in the creative process with any shit that you're doing. I want
Thanks for
to
having me.
end
This is
on
great.
this card, which is you making it public. It's the make it public card. So, is there anything that you would like make public that you haven't already? Projects that you want to share? Anything that you want the public to know?
Yes. So stay tuned. We cannot share yet the name of the channel, but if this project we've described sounds interesting to you, go find me on Instagram at Antolino. I guess probably you'll put the link or something on the description or whatever.
Yeah.
Go find me and connect with me, because like we're super excited to be doing this, and we're gonna need you. We're gonna need like attention, support, feedback, everything. So if that sounds like something that could be like interesting, find me on Instagram. And very soon, I think in like a few weeks, we'll launch the channel, and hopefully we'll make content that you'll have fun with and learn with.
Oh, great.
So that's it.
I cannot wait to look at this interview 1 year later. I mean, it will be so
Oh my
nice.
God. Like that is the one thing that I've been thinking this whole time, is like, how will this feel watching this footage in 1 year? Like,
yeah.
this is probably the best
Yeah.
gift for this interview for me.
But I feel that it was such an inspiration, you sharing all that, and because we are always saying of the importance of doing shit, and sometimes we get stuck. That's why we invented do shit, and it's important to us of reminding people to do the shit that they want to do, and sometimes it's really difficult, even if it's easy to do, and you are doing something not easy to do. So it's really a nice thing to know it's a good inspiration to all the other DoShitters to just do it. And so thank you so much for this inspiration. And I cannot wait to rewatch this video 1 year later with your huge success, and we will be like, yes, we knew it.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Exactly.
Thank you so
and
much.
to
This has
thank you
been
for
great.
this inspiration. So thank you for this inspiration, Antolino. We're going to be creating a discount in your name. It's going to be the Antolino discount. So any people who join
Oh
and
my
buy
God.
Do Shit with your code will be getting a percentage, a 10% discount.
All right. That's massive. Okay. So you've heard it. If you want to support the project we've discussing here, go buy the shit. It's not only a magical tool, and it's like literally the best thing you can do when you're feeling like down, when you're like want to find your stuff, but you're making me reach on the way. So go buy it right now. Click on the link, get your 10% off, and throw your money at this project because that is amazing.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Antolino.
you so much.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us in
you.
Do Shitters,
Thank
shedding
you.
shit.
I have my
Bye-bye.
own here. I have my own deck here, so I preach what I say.
Thank
Bye.
you, Anto.
Thank you.